Hey guys, what is up and welcome to the video. It is Joseph and Jklenk here. I just watched Juke's video in its entirety and I'm not gonna lie, I agree with some points and then completely disagree with some other points he made in that video, which is completely okay. I think some of his points were valid, some of them were just completely not good for the game at all. But as a content creator on the game myself, I don't want to leave Juke hanging and have him be the person who's targeted in this situation or be the person who's just left hanging, because some of his points were extremely valid. And I think even though I don't agree with all of his opinions, I think his opinion definitely still stands and definitely should hold some value. So that brings it to this video, the problems with Bad Business. So just as a little bit of background, I've actually been playing Bad Business ever since it released. I started playing the game 3 days after it opened up to the public. And that was all the way back in summer of 2019. So I've been on the game for a really long time. I've been making content consistently on the game for over 2 years now. And overall, I've played this game in every single state it's been in and the current state too. So now you know a little bit about me, you know a little bit about where I'm coming from on this video. Let's actually get into it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is something that everybody is going to agree with, and it's balancing. Balancing on the game has been great at sometimes, absolutely A1, and then other times it's been horrendous. And I think we actually go through a little bit of cycles of it being great for like 2 to 3 weeks and then horrendous for months. Then we get a little bit of a balance update and then it actually gets a little bit better, but it doesn't fix everything. It only fixes some of the problems that we have. And I think some of those problems that we have are actually a little bit harder than fixing a value or a damage on a gun. I think it's actually kind of revamping the gun itself or fixing multiple parts of a gun. So in Juke's video, he actually goes in depth about the melee spammers and how to fix meleeing. And I think there's actually many solutions to this problem. I definitely do agree that melee spamming was an issue. I think actually their last balance update on melee spamming has actually completely fixed this problem. So that I will actually give a point to the devs on that one, because their melee spamming fix was actually A1. Now I addressed something that the devs actually did good. Now let's actually rebuttal that with something they did bad. Recently there was a rifle change. This wasn't just to one specific rifle, this was to all the rifles in the game. I think that was honestly one of the worst balance fixes and worst opinions that they had in the entire game in a really long time. I think that was actually the stupidest balance update ever, especially nerfing the MK14, a gun that nobody uses, a gun that I wish was actually good in this game, but they nerfed it even more and they nerfed it to oblivion. So using it is actually even more abysmal than it was before. This is something that is a huge problem in the game. You have all these weapons in the game that are there, but they're not actually usable and are actually not there, if that makes sense to you. So you play the game, you go into a lobby, nobody's using the rifle class, and if they do, it's usually just the Jklenk. The Jklenk's the only actual usable rifle. The rest of them are garbage. And that's what I mean by the balancing in the game is abysmal and awful at times. Dude, the rifle class is terrible. It's just literally there. It's not actually even in a lobby. You play, you spectate everybody, nobody's using any of those guns. And I think that is a huge problem. And this is a problem because you have all these guns in the game, you have all this content, but you're not actually utilizing it. And it's not fun. I think it actually kills the game's amount of fun that you can have on it. People just want to use meta weapons. People just want to use something that's usable. People just want to use something that's going to get kills. Completely understand that. That's a great opinion to have, honestly, because you know what? I don't want to use a gun that sucks. And I completely agree with other people on that. Like me, I will use a meta weapon because I don't want to use a gun that sucks, dude. It's just not fun. My solution to this problem is what Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 did. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 had every single gun in the game usable, and nobody can even say anything else about that because it's true. Every gun in the game was usable. Every gun could kill. Every gun had a near the same TTK, and I think that's extremely important to have, and I think that's why Call of Duty was honestly, that was the prime game that everybody looks back at and honestly says is the best Call of Duty ever, because every gun was balanced. Every gun was beautiful. Every gun was kind of OP, to be honest here. Every gun was broken, and I think that was the best part of it. Now, I know this solution isn't something that everybody's going to agree with, but I really do think that a lot of people should look into it, even the devs especially, because it is a very valid option and a very valid way to balance the entire game in just one update. And also, again, I want to talk about Juke's video again here because he actually said something that was honestly kind of true, but also kind of not. I was like 50-50 on it. So he was saying that the community is toxic because of pre-buyers. I actually have zero problem with people pre-buying, and I do not think the devs are money hungry. I think if they were money hungry, they would be pushing out weapon passes every single like month, honestly. And that's honestly not what they're doing. They're honestly just adding content and guns to the current prestiges that need it. And I think that's totally fine. But I do not think they are money hungry, and I don't think pre-buying is a problem because you are going to run into that gun eventually. You might as well just run into it like now than later. So what I'm saying is majority of the player base is a very high level. Majority of the player base are very sweaty. You're going to run into that problem. You're going to run into that gun. You have to learn how to adapt. And I don't want to say he's bad for having that opinion, and I don't want to say he's not a good player, but I think that he just needs to learn how to counter some of those pre-bought guns. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of the pre-buying that he was talking about was the katana, which was nerfed. So I don't think his opinion is completely invalid. I do agree with that the katana was broken before its nerf, but now it's nerfed. So now I just want to address the other guns that he's talking about pre-buyers do. Juke also did go on and say that the community was extremely toxic. And I agree. Some of those people are extremely toxic in the community. And again, the people know who they are, the people who are toxic. The people who make all accounts and cheat constantly, stream snipers who aren't fun. There's stream snipers who are fun, and then there's stream snipers who aren't fun. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Twitch or other streamers or on YouTube or anything. People like, you know, they drop into Warzone and they give the person money or something, or they drop all their guns and just emote or something, or like crouch spam or whatever it is on Call of Duty. But on Bad Business, majority of your stream snipers are the ones that just download exploits and just, you know, ruin lobbies, or they use the lower FPS hacks and everything, and everybody and the server itself is just crashing and diminishing in performance. These are the people that honestly need to get out of the game, dude. These people, like, I don't even know the solution to this because this is just a Roblox problem itself. I really wish I could have a solution to this other than just saying make a better anti-cheat, and or Roblox needs to make an anti-cheat. Like, this is really the only problem and solution I can come up with that. And it sucks because this whole video was supposed to be a problem solution. This is just a problem that I can't come up with, or a solution I can't come up with. Another thing I actually want to talk about is actually the player count problem. So this game has actually had a big influx in player count throughout the years. And obviously we're in a time where it's kind of down. Yeah, I will say it is kind of down, the player counts. And this does affect our views as YouTubers and content creators. And this goes across the board to everybody who makes content on Bad Business. And so we actually do get directly affected by that player count. And that's why I'm going to practically talk about this. One, I want the game to grow. One, I want my channel to grow. I love this game, absolutely adore it, and I really want it to succeed on Roblox. I don't want to see Adopt Me on top page anymore. I want to see Bad Business on top page. Maybe it's a game that will never reach top page. That's okay. Still doesn't mean you can't try for it, you know? But I think there's been a huge problem recently with catering to new players. I think every single update recently has really just catered to OG players, or like kind of prestige 3+ players, which are your OG sweatballs players. Like, they're not new. I think that we need some updates to cater to new people. We need more game modes in the game. We need more maps. And I honestly think they've been doing a great job with the maps recently. I do want to see a little bit more though. Not so much more, but just a little bit. Like, add 3-4 more maps, and I think we're in a golden spot for maps. But game modes, we have not had a new game mode since what, gun game or randomizer? And that is a huge issue. This has been a problem for so long, and I don't want to wait till 3.0 for the solution to get fixed, especially since they did just delay 3.0. I think we honestly need more game modes more than ever, and I think the game is suffering because it is getting boring. It sucks now. I will say this now. I'm going to openly disclose this and say this. The game sucks now. The only time and the only reason I actually play the game is for content. It's not for fun anymore. I used to play for fun all the time, and honestly, ever since like a year ago on this game, ever since the attachments update, really, the game has just gone downhill with that. And I think it's because the lack of new content, not because of new guns, not because of new attachments. Those are always going to come and always going to be there. It's because the actual infrastructure of the game itself has not changed at all. We have had the same meta, the same game modes, and honestly, a lot of the new maps weren't that great, but a lot of the same maps too. And I think that's really the biggest issue here, is that the meta needs to change, which this can actually go and change with balancing issues or my solution before. The maps need to change, which can go with my solution to 4, add 3 to 4 more maps, and I think would be in a great spot, and add more game modes. And I think that will actually make the game more refreshing for a lot of people. And also, I need something else to grind for. The mastery skins suck. The solid skins, like the moonstone, the solid gold, the obsidian skin, I don't care to grind for them. They're not fun. I think that Call of Duty actually did this perfectly, and I know I'm looking at Call of Duty a lot. Honestly, every and all FPS game has done this, and this was either a leaderboard system, which I think is a great idea, and I've actually suggested this years ago, but it actually still has never been added. So yes, a leaderboard system, and also a challenge system. Now, maybe a challenge system that you can actually gain XP from. Maybe that'd be a nice way to actually level up in the game, because I do think this game is very extremely grindy, and I don't think it's actually really good for Roblox to have such a grindy game like that. I do think leveling and getting credits should be easier in this game, and I think that'll actually definitely help cater to new players too itself. So yeah, making a challenge list and actually making it so when you complete it, you get credits and XP. That would be amazing. And now another solution I have to actually cater to new audience of this game is making double credits and double XP weekends. Now, I don't just mean one double XP weekend every 5 months like you guys been doing. Honestly, I think your ratio or your average is a little bit less than that, but I definitely think they should add a double credits and XP weekend, both in one, not just one double XP or double credits, a double credits and XP weekend. That would be huge for the game. A lot of people would play it. A lot of the OGs would play it. A lot of new players would play it because they would actually see a chance to progress faster than usual, because yes, the game is very slow to progress in. I'm actually looking through the comment section of Juke's video, and I did just rewatch it. A lot of his complaints, and a lot of the complaints in the comments even, are actually just about sweaty players in general. Now, I think the best way to curve this was, again, one of my solutions before, by making every single gun usable like MW2 did back in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I think that would honestly help the game a ton. This would help the new players not have to worry about getting destroyed because of the gun that they're using. This would also help overall everybody in the game. Now, I know the devs are probably going to see this video and are like, yeah, everything in this video is planned. Yeah, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that it's going to be added. We're working on it. Like, I feel like we've waited long enough for more game modes. We've waited long enough for things that will even just cater to new players and things that will make the game a little bit more interesting. This game has been in a dry spell for a very long time, and I think it's time for a change, genuinely. Now, I'm not talking about like little small updates like the Mythical Knives update that boosted the player counts for literally a weekend, and then after that it just declined back to where it was. I want something long lasting, something that's actually going to stay, something that's actually going to stick, something that's meaningful for the game, the players, the community, and overall everybody involved in this game. I definitely love Bad Business. I'm not going anywhere on it. I will be making more videos on the game, obviously, but I just wanted to get everything in here off my chest, and I love all the suggestions that they are having in their roadmap. The plan section, the 3.0, the 4.0, and the in progress section. I just think development probably has to speed up a little bit. I know they hit a really big brick wall this past week with a lot of controversial things happening, but overall, I really just want to see more work done. These updates have been really small for a really long time, and a new gun revamp isn't really going to cut it anymore. I really want to see some bigger changes, and I hope you guys agree with me. If you guys do, comment down below any suggestions you guys have. I want even the devs or some staff member or anybody on the team to look at this video and actually see this as a reference point. So yeah, if you guys have anything, any suggestions, feedback, recommendations for the game itself, leave it in the comment section down below. Click a like on this video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe if you guys are new. Peace out, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Joseph or Jklenk here, signing out. Peace.